Hey guys, Todd Helms out here with Wingmen, checking on one of our favorite duck ponds. Anyway, just like to take a moment while we're out here to talk to you about the calls around my neck. You watch the videos, you watch The Blind, you've watched Ducknado, you've watched some of the other videos that we've done, and you've seen from social media posts and videos that I got a whole bunch of Zink Calls around my neck. I carry 2 duck calls and 2 goose calls, different models, different styles, and I'm going to tell you why you should be looking at having a couple different calls on your lanyard and why these Zink calls in particular should be something you need to be looking at. Nice shot. Fetch it up. So the first call I'd like to talk to you about is the green top rocker. You'll notice this thing it's small, but you know what? It's small, but it's mighty. This is a single reed call. I chose it in maple, and it is loud. It is raspy, it is loud, but at the same time, it's got what I love about a single reed in that it's versatile. I can get down and get some low end nasty duckiness. With the right air control and air pressure, I can really ring out a high hail call and get that loud snap, that loud bark to a call that I need to get. There was one day in particular on the float hunt that we did last year, late in the season, where the birds had heard a lot of different calls, and this call turned heads. It was just the right pitch, it was just the right sound, and every single, it seemed like anyway, every single duck that flew by that I blew this thing at, hit the brakes, spun, and dumped right into the decoys. And it was simple quacks and simple hails, something kind of like this. It was really simple calling. Again, I've said it before, I'll say it till the day I die. I'm not a competition caller when it comes to geese or ducks or turkeys or elk for that matter. Just not a competition caller. I'm a meat caller. Sometimes I think less is more in calling when it comes to a hunting scenario. You can do all kinds of stuff with this call. Again, let's take a look at the feeding chuckle, for example. I'm a little rusty, as you can probably tell. That particular hunt, that float hunt, this call made all the difference that day. I was blowing the other call on my lanyard, the green head rocker, and I wasn't getting the response. Something about the single reed and the wood, I like having one of each. I like having a single reed and a double reed, and I like having a wood call and an acrylic call. Both, they have different sounds, different pitches, especially when you're dealing with different temperatures or different moisture levels in the air. And you just never know, like that particular day, the ducks didn't want anything to do with the double reed acrylic, but the single reed wood call was really turning their heads. So that's why you need to be taking a look at the green top rocker. It's a great single reed duck call. You can get really loud with it. It's got great low end duck. You can do feeding chuckles, hail calls, whatever you need to do. And it's, like I said, small but mighty. This thing is loud. So take a hard look at the green top rocker. Again, your choice of wood or acrylic. I chose the wood just because why not? Moving on to the green head rocker. This is the GHR as Zink has it labeled. It's a double reed call, and like all Zink's duck calls, has the Z-cut tone board on it. Really eliminates sticking, the reed sticking, especially in the double reed. It's just a hard call to stick. You can put a lot of moisture into this thing and it just sounds duckier, it seems like, the wetter it gets. So I chose the acrylic in this. The double reed has a little more mellow tone to it, to my ear. And if I want to get whisper quiet, need to be a little more mellow and subtle on these birds and sweet talk them a little bit, I grab the double reed. And it really, really makes a difference on those quiet mornings. The green head rocker was the call that you'll see in The Blind, for example, our video, The Blind. This call's in my hand a lot because those ducks traversing up and down the river here, they got shot at a lot, not just in our spot, but all over. And you really had to kind of finesse them. Maybe a soft hail call or a couple soft quacks, little bit of feeding chatter, and it was soft and subtle. And that's what they wanted. That's what they were looking for. If you blew too hard at them and got on them real hard, they would just keep right on trucking, or worse, they would flare and you wouldn't see them again. They were gone. So let's run through a little sound file on the green head rocker. Let's do a little hail call first. Again, half dozen notes. You can get a little subtle with it too. Really fine. A lot of the times I would just hit those birds, get their attention with a hail call, and then hit them with some quacks to finish them. That simulates a contented hen on the water. This call has a very pure, very ducky sound. Combination of the tone board, that Z-cut tone board, the double reeds, the barrel is tapered, small at the beginning, a little bit larger at the end. Just a really true, really ducky sound. A little bit of a feeding chuckle here. You can hear that squeal in there. A lot of guys call that the Cajun squeal. That's something that honestly this particular call does kind of on its own. If I kind of cut back on that air, it'll squeal a little bit and kind of get that squeaky chatter that you heard. That sounds like a live mallard hen on the water, contentedly feeding, whether it's in a pond like this behind me or in the Russian olives along a river, or even on the ground in a cornfield or a waste grain field of some sort. Those are the two duck calls from Zink that I carry. Again, the green top rocker and the green head rocker. Your choice of colors. Seems like they change up colors every year. And so you got some great eye-popping colors on your lanyard to make it really stand out from everybody else's. These are great looking calls, but don't let them fool you. They perform. They flat out perform. I was very, very pleased with these calls last year in the field. Thanks for coming along while we checked out one of our favorite duck ponds. I hope that this review of Zink Calls, what's around my neck that I wore every day last season and I'm excited to wear again this season, is going to help you as you're looking for, well, let's face it, we're all heading into season with a wish list or a want list, right? These calls need to be on your list. And I look forward to bringing you more on Zink Calls in the future. And while you're here watching the video, don't forget to run down and hit the subscribe button, mash that thumbs up, maybe leave us a comment, let us know what else you want to see. Are there other call brands you want to see us review? Until next time, we'll see you in the field.